Do you think that the press is the greatest enemy of the U.S.?
Well, I'm a conservative and I'm a Republican. Certainly the news media, particularly at the national level, is a challenge for us who hold conservative beliefs.
Sure, but the greatest
are they
enemy.
a threat to the national security of the United States?
Would you ever call CNN an enemy?
No. I would call CNN and most people in the media who have left-leaning bents a political foe, okay? Because they tend to be aligned with the Democrats versus the Republicans, so they're a political foe. Would I call them an enemy of our country? That's not the verbiage that I would use.
I mean, I'm just getting to, obviously, that the president tweeted out that especially NBC and CNN, just let me just say it 1 second. I won't read the whole thing, that the media and the press are our country's biggest enemy, so easily promulgated by fools. And, you know, the reason that I ask you this, Congressman, is just because I remember last year after the tragedy there on the baseball diamond, we talked about how we were all going to make an effort to come together and show more unity and build bridges. And I'm just wondering if you think that kind of language accomplishes that.
Allison, I consider you a friend, not an enemy. But when it comes to politics, and I don't know how you vote, but I would expect that you're probably a little bit more liberal than I am from the state of Alabama.
How do you know that?
And I would consider
you
a foe to the conservative beliefs that I have from Alabama.
Why does it matter
but I don't consider you an enemy. I consider you a friend.
Vote? Why does it matter? Why are we enemies if we vote differently? Why do we have to assume things about each other?
Well, to me, enemy is the word that you use when you're talking about a death row kind of combat, okay?
Yeah, right.
Nazi Germany in the United States, imperialist Japan in the United States,
right. So why
fascist
does the
Italy in the United States. Those were clearly
CNN
enemies.
And about the press?
But I would use it. I would use the term more as a political foe. That's the language that I would tend to feel more comfortable with. It's like the Democrats are on the baseball field. We can be friendly outside of the confines of the House floor, and we often are, even though we vote opposite each other.
Yeah.
But clearly, we are political foes in the political arena because we have different belief systems with respect to socialism versus free enterprise, with respect to border security versus open borders.
Of course, Congressman. Everybody understands that there are differences. But I guess I'm just saying, are you comfortable with the president calling the press the biggest enemy of the U.S.?
President Trump has a way of using hyperbole in order to achieve strategic advantage, and he's got a strategy and a thought process behind the words that he used, and quite frankly, he's been fairly successful at it. So I'm not one to challenge President Trump and the hyperbole that he sometimes uses in order to achieve the goals that he's trying to achieve for our country. It might be different from my style, but obviously his style works. He's president of the United States.
Well, do you think it's damaging?
Obviously his style works. We just had a meeting with North Korea. Who would have thought it a year ago that peace talks would break out between North Korea and the United States of America? So Donald Trump has a strategy behind the terms that he uses, and it could be that he's just a whole lot smarter than I am with respect to those types of words that I don't use, but he does. And we've seen at least success with respect to North Korea, the beginning of what I hope will be peace breaking out on the Korean Peninsula sometime in the future.
I understand. But do you think that it's damaging to call the free press in the United States the enemy?
I don't think he was using that term in the kind of Mortal Kombat way that some people would perceive it. But in terms of the belief system that the President of the United States has, and the unfortunately, the news media, as you know, you tend to be under a 5 or 10 minute news cycle when it used to be 24-hour news cycle. When you've got that kind of pressure to scoop your competition, unfortunately, the homework that used to be done, say, 30, 40 years ago before the advent of the internet was much more thorough, and the news media was much more accurate in the things that they said.
Trust me.
Now, with a 5 and 10 minute or hour-long news cycle, the homework's not done and too many mistakes are made. But I'm not going to get into this
Congressman, I mean,
description
listen, I
President Trump has used.
I wish that you could be here at 4 a.m.
I'm here to play baseball today.
I understand, but I wish you could be here at 4 a.m. to watch all of the homework that we're all doing and that all of our producers who come in here at midnight are doing for hours and hours to prepare for every one of our segments. But listen, we wish you the best.
I'm sure you do that.
We do, Congressman. We are fact-based. We button up our research as much as possible. And I just...